Om Shanti. I create the awareness of the self-respect of being Master Almighty. So that at the right time, according to circumstances, the right power will emerge. And that power will do whatever is necessary. We have to see the power, the magic of awareness. Just create awareness and be in that self-respect. Every thought we create then, with the right power, will get accomplished. Our homework for tomorrow is to stay in the awareness of Master Almighty. And observe how that awareness is working. So that when we look at the attainment, definitely there is natural pull to be more and more in that awareness. Awareness will become consistent. And also the stage of self-respect.
हसरत है हमारी बाबा पर दो वो पूरी आके मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
आज सर्व बच्चों के रक्षक और शिक्षक बाप दादा अपने सने ब्राह्मण बच्चों की फाउंडेशन को देख रहे, ये तो सभी जानते हो कि वर्तमान श्रेष्ठ जीवन का फाउंडेशन निश्चय जितना निश्चय रूपी फाउंडेशन पक्का है उतना ही आज से अब तक सहज योगी निर्मल स्वभाव शुभ भावना की वृद्धि और आत्मक दृष्टि सदा नेचुरल रूप में अनुभव होती है। हर समय चलन और चेहरे से उनकी झलक अनुभव होती है, क्योंकि ब्राह्मण जीवन में सिर्फ जानना नहीं है कि मैं ये हूँ और पाप ये है, लेकिन जानने का अर्थ है जो जानते हैं वो मानना और चलना। बाप दादा देख रहे थे कि जो भी बच्चे अपने को ब्राह्मण कहलाते हैं वो सभी ये फलक से कहते हैं कि हम निश्चय बुद्धि है। बाप दादा निश्चय बुद्धि बच्चों से पूछते हैं, सभी है ना निश्चय बुद्धि, तो सभी से पूछते हैं कि आप सभी कहते हो निश्चय बुद्धि क्या? विजय ये भी पक्का है। तो निश्चय बुद्धि विजयी, फिर कभी विजय कभी हार क्यों होती है?
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में।
Om Shanti. Be one with elevated self-respect and continue to give regard to everyone. Stable on the seat of awareness. Whenever you order any power, first of all check whether you are stable on your seat of awareness and your seat of self-respect. Remain stable on the seat of the awareness of being a Master Almighty authority, and all powers are bound to come to you at the right time. You have to remain powerful in your self-respect to this extent. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today's day 11. Be one with elevated self-respect and continue to give regard to everyone. Today's topic, stable on the seat of awareness. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone is okay? Well, yes, very good. It's so interesting that Baba wants us to have a stage which is stable and consistent. But also Baba gives us the homework for whether awareness or about self-respect. And today Baba is showing us the connection between having awareness and self-respect. So what comes first, awareness or self-respect? I think they are very connected with each other. When you have awareness, you will be in self-respect, right? And when you have self-respect, you have awareness. But still, when we practice, then we will know what comes first, awareness or self-respect. So I think we go by that. But what Baba is saying, that more you are stable in awareness. I don't know if we ever practiced to an extent where we could say, today, whole day I was in this awareness, or 2 hours or 5 hours. Sometimes it's few moments, sometimes it's little more. But what Baba wants us to be very stable on the seat of awareness. So I have one seat, it's awareness and also it's self-respect. But as I'm really kind of feeling it and keen to see how, when I'm seated on the seat of awareness and have self-respect of a particular, like I take it as Master Almighty. So how powers will work? And I am realizing and I feel it must be happening that whichever power is required, that power will naturally come in the thought and it will work, right? Or will I have to just say, this power you come or other power you come now? Will I need to give direction or invoke those powers, or they will naturally come and work at the time? I'm remembering that now whenever I travel together with Dadis, so many situations come, many changes happen. And it's like if they have thought, it will get accomplished. So when thought is accomplished, that means there is power in the thought, right? Dadis will just sit in a corner and you can see they are set on the seat of self-respect or awareness. And whatever had to happen, it happens. I think we all have to accomplish that way. And I think we can, where it's not that we will sit and say, oh, I need tolerance. Can tolerance come? No. We have enough tolerance at that time to face something or anything to tolerate. Or, that is share when in the beginning they were left for service. So they will sit on the bank of the river Jamna. And so they had really nothing. Even the room which they had, open space with no roof. And they have to spend whole night. So they said there was a wrestler around and he always saw these young women sitting whole night. And he just suddenly thought maybe I should protect them from anyone, doing anything to them. So Dari Janki was saying whole night, like he's alert and he knows they have to be protected. They have to be protected. And Dari said, they will, oh, Baba is taking care. Baba is almighty. He does everything. but also it must be their stage, whether they are fearless or this total trust, like today Baba is talking in the Murali about faith, that when there is faith, there is victory. I don't have to invoke victory, but I have to maintain faith. So same is like when I'm seated on the seat of awareness, and then I create that self-respect. I think that's where we could, from the attainment, we will be naturally, have feelings, motivation that I should stay more in that stage. Because that is new, even if they will say Almighty Baba did everything, but also their awareness of being Master Almighty must also be working to invoke the right power, and it does everything. Like they show this battle between Kauravas and Pandavas, or devils and deities. So when they shoot the arrow, an arrow has to crush the arrow of other side. So it's not that they have to do anything, their arrow will do it. And there will be victory. So same is that inner power, accumulation of power, because whatever they attain in arrows is their tapasya. In that tapasya, that if this kind of attack comes, then our arrow will, beat that one or crush that one. So more is emerging in me of thinking of how the power will work. So what I need is awareness. What I need is seat of self-respect. If I'm seated on that seat, so what we should be doing, a practice, plus especially when there is any situation, just be very stable in that seat of awareness and let the powers work. I think I'm kind of want to explore it more and see that how, whether there are always two things. One is sometimes situations are more settling of karmic accounts. And sometimes they are tests, because if you move forward, there will be bigger things which happens. But also because our power is increasing, we are able to manage that very well. So we take this as homework, and so tomorrow we will take it, the awareness of being Master Almighty. Since few days I had been really thinking that everything in the world is moving, and doing what it should be and what they should be doing, everything. Whether it is souls, whether it is elements, nature, even Baba, I think. Then Baba says, I'm at service 24 hours. So am I protected nighttime by Baba? Yes, we are. So as much, but then it's our remembrance, stability of awareness, seat of self-respect. So we do homework, we create that seat and sit on that seat and have faith and see how victory is happening, how things are happening, how drama is moving. And that will give you, cheerfulness. I always admire Hanuman because I find he knew there is victory. Wherever there is God, is victory. So whatever happened, he will keep smiling because he knew there will be victory. So same is our stage should be always cheerful, always light, not worried. or feel, oh, will there be victory or not? It's something very, very beautiful. And as we all had been on this spiritual journey, we have to explore some of the new concepts. They might be old, but maybe we haven't done enough to attain that kind of stage. So when Baba said consistent, stable, then we have to pay attention and see how stable we can be. And it's practical and it can happen. So our homework for tomorrow is the seat of awareness of being Master Almighty and also self-respect of that. And then see the magic. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. So, welcome to Avyakti Journey, Avyakti Parivar Chit Chat, conversations that open the heart and elevate the mind. So, we welcome our dear angel brother, Brother Eric. And today he's not going to be in the screen, he's going to be next to Didi because he's right here in Sakar form. So, that's a special welcome to you, Eric Bhai.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar. Om Shanti, everyone in the room. It's the first time I'm being introduced as being in a Sakar form. I think this is a very new experience. I don't know how I should feel being in my Sakar form. Which form was I in before?
Angelic form.
Angelic form, Zoom form. And I really feel like I'm in a cartoon, you know, and that you took something on the screen and you peeled it off and put it like this in a room, and boop, I'm in my Sakar form in the room. And I would say tonight, I think I'm really the luckiest of all of you. Would you want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the luckiest because I think tonight I can claim one title of self-respect. I'm the closest to Mohini Didi. And I think I'm even closer to Mohini Didi than Bhumiji. So to tell you the privilege, the honor, the feeling I have of being so close,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you don't see the whole thing, but this is a studio, divine studio, and there's lights. But I felt when I was sitting here, I said, strange, I feel the light is coming from here, not from there. So I'm the luckiest, the nearest, and maybe the brightest, but that is a bit delicate word for self-respect. Anyway, very nice to join Avyakti Parivar. Really very close to you, Mohini Didi, and I know physically I'm happy to be in my Sakar form. I'll remain in my angelic stage. And feeling your presence is always something that Zoom can offer, but also being, you see how close I am, just a few roses away from Mohini Didi. And it's really a feeling that I've been sharing with other Canadians who were here today. And we shared how, you know, that closeness, either being physical, but also of heart, of spirit, of energy, is the main thing for us in terms of sustenance. So we're talking about sustenance today. And we all agree that there's no higher quality of sustenance than that energy that you bring from all your many years with Baba. But also this morning when you were offering both, I really felt as if, you know, you really bring Baba in the room. And I strongly believe that in the future, when you were mentioning that Baba, there will be so many people coming to the center. And if they don't meet Baba in a Sakar angelic form, I think when we offer Bog in the centers, but particularly when we are near you and offer Bog, I think this will be the closest to what people can experience. And they will feel God's presence at that time, which we feel very, very strongly when you offer Bog. I think you're not just going to the subtle region, but you're bringing back the subtle region with you, with Baba. Anyway, that was the introduction. So, Om Shanti. It's a long introduction. But one thought you shared today, which really, really hit a chord. And you mentioned about, when somebody comes in front of you and they may be a little bit angry or something. It's not just a question of giving them respect, but you said you hold a vision for that soul. Remember that? And I don't know if I remember correctly the words, but when you said it's more than respect, you create a vision for them and you hold on to that vision. I really feel this is something that I'd love if we can explore a little bit in the conversation. And first of all, the question would be, well, how do you do that? Do you have a channel with different vision? If someone is angry, do you see Kali and then you say, calm down and you are peaceful? Do you create, how do you select the vision you create for the soul?
Yeah. I was just mentioning that whatever a person is or does, and then our expectations from that person are completely different. And if the expectations are not fulfilled, then it's like we really don't like that person, or, we distance ourselves from that person. But if our, bhavana or a vision is starting from, basically what it will work is, first we look at that soul, eternal form, loveful, peaceful, in soul consciousness. And then also we know that every soul began with Sato state, every soul, whichever age they come, but they are in the beginning Sato, then Rajo, then Tamo. So if I can hold the vision towards that soul, that every soul is pure, is loveful, it does really have works, in soul consciousness. I have seen people's behavior, their activities start changing. I remember one time I was traveling and there was some people, those who eat meat and all that. So in the compartment, we were 6 of us, and I couldn't get better seats, so I'm sitting. So they all had to eat, right? And they all had to eat non-veg. But some or other, they felt very hesitant. So one of them went and started talking to the train conductor. Can we give this lady another seat somewhere? Or we can move if you want. I was not doing anything, but I was just in soul consciousness. They are all souls, and so that I am not affected. So I was doing that, and everything got sorted out. And so I have seen so many times that it's the soul consciousness. Not only I am soul, but they all are souls. It's very, very powerful, and that changes. But then also, after all are God's children. Every soul is pure. On the journey now at this time, there is no degrees of purity. So our vision towards the soul, in soul consciousness, to their original stage or their eternal stage, and everyone has a part to play, So this way, creating a vision towards that soul changes definitely. And it is not like only settling, but also creating good relationship. Because one is settling of relationship, other is creating good relationship. And it's important that with every soul in the world, I create a good relationship. And that is why Baba talks about good wishes and pure feelings.
But do you make that vision more personal sometimes, in a sense? This is like almost awareness of the soul, but you were also mentioning how Baba had a vision of you and was holding a vision for the future. So, for example, if Bhumi comes and tells you again, you have to do this, you have to do that. And sometimes I say, okay, again, do you hold a vision of her being future? deity in golden age? And is it more personal, the vision we hold, associated with the role, or is someone that you know in particular, not the person in the train, but somebody you know, do you try to create a vision of their role, their future?
It's so interesting that, let's say when I met you, whenever, and whatever journey and whatever, character or personality you had in
Yeah, we won't
between.
talk into detail about that, yeah, in the
But,
beginning.
But I had, I don't know, always like not only pure soul, but there was some kind of like, there was never, like I saw you in many different, timings and stages, but I always had this vision, so it must be connected with the part, or so whatever you are today, I think I had that vision. Not exactly like this is all. There will be interview and we will be on Zoom. But there is some kind of deep feelings. And I think that's what gives us motivation or power to sustain the souls. Otherwise, we could give up at any stage. This one is not changing. Look at again now another thing. Look at another thing. But it's like, no, it's nothing bothers. It becomes like, no, it will be okay. And so I think that it's very subtle, but it does work.
How can we do it ourselves? Because you may have insight into, who we are and how we are. But for me, if I'm dealing with some brothers and sisters at the center, what will be the difference between, like you said earlier, the awareness maybe of themselves as a soul, the respect I want to give them, and ultimately a vision that I want to hold that will be very pure and that can really help that soul to move forward.
Mhm.
How do I make sure that that vision is not just my own imagination, but I really create something real for them?
You just do it. You don't have to worry about what will be the result. Will it work or not work? You just do it. What I'm saying? Create a habit and the nature, because we are the bestowers, and everyone's fortune should be good fortune. Everyone should be happy. And this should be our very normal kind of attitude towards everyone. And I know definitely it stays with them, or it brings something to them.
Is it almost like having blessing for the soul? If someone come in front of me and they're a little bit negative, and I say, well, you are, I see you in a vision of being very inspiring for everyone and being a leader in your own way and making others better. Is that almost like the vision becomes almost like a blessing?
Yeah, it's like a blessing, and it's like, something helps what our thinking, our attitude will help that soul in some way or other. And so that soul will have then a lot of respect, some good feelings, and so I think that when it works, then the response from the soul will be like it's a blessing.
Mm.
That's how it will work.
Do you feel that you had to, and is it something you would suggest we do, to spend time to try to find the quality of the other soul, so that the vision we create for their future is also connected with a real experience? Because my experience is sometimes that if we don't spend time to really observe someone, to find their qualities, and I remember sometimes you mentioned about one sister that I had a little difficulty with, and you mentioned something that she had that quality, and I never saw that quality. But because you mentioned it, I started looking at that sister with that vision, and I realized that, oh, that was also making me free from my negative feeling for that soul. So is it that we need to look for and search for the quality? Sometimes it's a bit difficult, but we need to search for the quality.
I think that what I notice even today, that you could see the speciality immediately of everything. We can actually. You don't have to search for it, and there
But
might
maybe you
be.
can because you don't have glasses of we wear many fashion glasses, I think, sometimes ourselves, and you see them clearly. But for I think for me and for some others, we may be affected by our own feelings, on expectations. They should do it this way, not that way. So at that time, we don't see the quality, no?
Whatever is blocking, you have to remove it.
Okay.
And when you remove it, you can immediately see.
Do you have an office for eye correction or so?
Because every soul has specialties.
Mm.
Actually, more specialties than weakness. But just to look at that, it will become habit, the capacity and the habit and the nature, because you feel good. Immediately you feel freedom, like otherwise you keep looking at the defects and weaknesses, you don't feel good. So that enlightenment is experience as soon as you look at the speciality of the soul.
So when you see that speciality, do you project it? Do you think about it? Do you tell them? How do you make that vision into the vision of their future and their role?
I remember one time Baba said in the Murali, if you look at any particular sanskar, that soul will not be sustained by you. And that stayed with me, that on one side, you want to give sustenance, but that soul won't feel it because I have in mind that weakness of that soul. And since then, I find if you look at the speciality, then soul will be sustained. Otherwise you are thinking that you are sustaining, but there's no experience. It's a very subtle point.
Yeah. But honestly, between us, nobody is listening really. I mean, they're thinking of something, but between us, if there was somebody a long time ago that you knew very well, that were very close to you, with very strong sanskars, that would just make you think sometimes. What was the process you did to go beyond their sanskars to create another vision? Because sometimes those souls, they take a long, long time to change, no?
You need, first of the quality you need is mercy, because they're doing so much, and if they could change little bit on certain things, how much they can, so good wishes and the vision towards the soul to get free from all those sanskars. And it brings changes. Maybe that soul is internally struggling with their old sanskar or habit. So our looking at them with that love and mercy and good wishes immediately help that soul.
But it also allows you to see them differently, or to see through their weaknesses.
You feel something and it's not right, but you don't hold it. I within 1 hour, even less, I just forget. And I say, oh no, look at the good qualities. And that soul also has behaved maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's not hours. So I should also be able to forget in 2, 3 minutes, right? And otherwise, if we keep holding inside, she's like that, this one is like that, this one is like that. That's not healthy, right? For soul and the body both. More we think good about everyone, more we think, keep saying things and people are successful, they receive, their attainments grow. So you feel happy, like what Baba is doing is creating our fortune. So we also help souls to create their fortune, create their power, and brings a lot of joy.
Yeah.
And you feel you are serving in a true way. You don't expect anything from anyone, but at least their fortune is created. So when their fortune created, they create further more fortune by doing good things for Baba's service. So when I see how things can just grow, then so our heart is always mercy, sympathy, both are important.
I was thinking of that word you use, vision, because it was connected to respect as well. When you mentioned not only giving respect, but holding a vision. And you mentioned earlier also that I think it came from homework, or blessing, that the way Baba gave us respect allowed us to develop that respect for us. But you also mentioned the vision Baba had for you, also allowed you to, the role that you're playing is aligned with the vision Baba had for you. So is it Baba's vision that created your role, or was your role already created and that he saw it and he recreated it?
Baba said,
Is it
no,
chicken and the egg?
I am the Kaldarshi, so he knows. We don't know our future, Baba knows. But when he knows, he look at that. And then, of course, part is there, it emerges. And it's kind of internally you feel, look at this Baba. Baba has helped me, he's fortune maker, and lot of love for Baba, praise for Baba. But also, if it's God, right? God and Brahma Baba. Baba is the Kaldarshi, right? And from very first moment I met Baba, and so recognition of God is not, how did I recognize the way he looked at me, the words he spoke for me. And today when I think of that, and I said, God knows, there is, once we had conference, Lokik people were there. So someone from Israel had to stay one extra night. So we thought he won't understand Baba coming and all that. So we were trying to avoid him to bring, but I don't know why he insisted, oh, I want to be there, I want to sit there. So he was a respectable person. He said, okay. He said, I recognize he is God because God never tries to know anything. He knows everything. He said, the way God was giving you all drishti and all that. So he didn't know God, nor he knew God comes, but he immediately said it. So that's one thing is, but let's say I don't need to know, but I know that everyone has fortune, everyone is a good soul, everyone is, that much we know, right? So that much we can give through our drishti.
Last little idea is that we mentioned that when Baba sees us, you were telling us, remember how much you felt, when Baba saw you the first time and the respect that he gave us. And some of us had the chance to hear from Baba directly, the blessing he gave us about certain things. But for those who haven't had the chance to meet Baba in a physical form, how could they feel Baba's respect for them that will awaken their own respect for themselves? And how can they know what vision Baba has for them?
Can go in Baba's room, sit in front of Baba and see what he has to say and what he has to see. And you will be surprised that you will have real experience of how Baba is looking at you. Baba's drishti there will put you into that self-respect, and communication, love will emerge. So Baba's room is really the best place, And of course, it could be through the instruments also.
Any preparation they need to make before going to Baba's room, or take a shower, or eat special toli, do something special to have the mindset prepared for that?
Of course, they have to be clean and with clean clothes and love for Baba. They just go in Baba's room. And there was a time when people always thought my problems, my negativity. So in Baba's room, Baba have this problem, Baba have this weakness. And I told them, why you have to throw all garbage in Baba's room? Just go and sing his praise. Baba, you are so loving. Baba, you are whatever it is. Even it might be artificial because they don't have experience, but that's where they will connect, Baba is ocean of peace. And if you are very disturbed and upset, and you go and sit in front of Baba, you won't feel anything. But if you say, leave everything, peacelessness and anger, everything, and then go in front of Baba, you will have real experience. So we have to tell them some of those things. Before a lot of people will only go, no, I say go for power, go for blessing, go for love. You know, problems will, Baba will take care of them. You don't have to ask Baba. Baba knows, right, what the soul needs. After all, he's the parents. So parents will know what a child requirement is. So that happens.
So everyone, get ready, Baba's room. Thank you, Mohini Didi. Usually I'm here on Saturday and especially on Toli. I won't ask any Toli today because we got so many already. And I just wanted to share spiritually with Avyakti Parivar. We are, I think, getting 34 varieties so far, but I'm leaving tomorrow, so I may get 36. But this, Gumi always has a magic hand.
Thank you, brother.
Well, thank you to you. Thank you to Mohini Didi. And so we're very happy to have Amnata Didi with us and the family, big family. There's a whole regional retreat, and the USA is coming. It's a very beautiful feeling of confluence of rivers meeting. Thank you to you, Mohini Didi. It was an amazing weekend, and so many are leaving full. And that's the word that we've been repeating. We're full, 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 full. We used to be fools, but now we're full. So we're much better. We prefer to be full than fools. Yeah, I mean, it was so regional, and many Canadians came. We met with the Latin American family, which was lovely, the Caribbean family, which is also lovely. Everybody keeps inviting everyone to their own special place. So we leave here almost not with plane tickets yet. That would be good, if we can come with a plane ticket, but at least big invitations. And I think the realization is about coming together and the power of the gathering. And I think Zoom has its unique power to bring us together in a very beautiful way, which is very universal. But when we are in our Sakar forms, all of us, it feels not the Sakar world, but we are also in the angelic world. We appreciated very much the lightness of the gathering. We can feel the family has really matured a lot, and it's not the same family we met 40 years ago, 30 years ago. There's so much maturity, so much depth, and fullness is there, so that the expectations are less. And I find that when we sit together with less expectations, we catch more easily really what Baba is trying to give us. And expectations usually interfere in what Baba is trying to give us. And if Sister Winnie wanted me to give me a flower and I'm expecting Toli, I don't get it. But if I have no expectations, then I'm happy to have a flower or a Toli, same. And so I think the retreat was a beautiful way to experience the power of the gathering, the feeling of lightness and fullness. And I really leave with this moment that we can spend with you. You are irreplaceable, you're unique. Because someone in the meeting said, we'd like to have more Mohini Didis. And I said, well, no, it's not possible. So we can only have one. And so we appreciate your uniqueness and everything you bring from Baba to share with us. That's beautiful. So thank you. And Om Shanti, everyone in Avyakti Parivar, and good night. And here, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, that was a wonderful chat. And thank you, Didi, and special thank you to Brother Eric for coming all the way here in Sakar form. Right? Yes, we had a good time. So now, tomorrow is Monday, and we will follow our schedule from Amritvela, 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Evening meditation will start at 6 p.m., followed by Hindi series, meditation commentary live by Didi, English series, and Avyakti journey. So now let's start our Avik Murli revision. Welcome to Avik the Journey. Avik Murli is from 1969, speaking to the heart of an angel.
Om Shanti. January 22nd, 1971. Avyakt Murli. The signs of souls seated on the heart throne. The more you yourself are full with all virtues, the more you will be able to fill others with them. The face of each creator is visible from his creation. Service is the mirror for all of you, through which you can see your internal stage. Just as you can see your face easily and clearly in a mirror, in the same way, through the mirror of service, you can have an easy and clear vision of your character, not your features. That is the mirror for the face, and this is the mirror for the character. Do each of you have a clear vision of yourself? You should be able to. If even now you do not have a clear vision, how will you be able to make yourself complete? Only when you know about your weaknesses will you be able to fill yourself with power. Therefore, if you do not have a clear vision of your own self, you can definitely make effort and take help from the instrument sister to have a clear vision of yourself. This is not the task of Bap Dada. Bap Dada's task is only to give a signal. What should the features of the teachers be like? Teachers should do service through their angelic features. The words, "This is my nature," should not emerge through the features of the teachers. To say this is a sign of a lack of power. You do not use the word effort with the meaning of effort, but you have made the word effort into an instrument to free yourself from making effort. Therefore, your words come in front of you through your creation. Therefore, just as an echo always comes back to you, so you must pay as much attention even to your own thoughts. Sometimes, Baba receives the news that students do not listen to anyone these days. They make effort, but are not moving forward. They are still standing where they were. Why is there this result? This is a return of your own stage. Because students, whilst moving along, also recognize the weaknesses of the instrument teachers and take advantage of that. Acha, Om Shanti.
Shanti. So now let's see the tomorrow's posture of Hatha Yoga, posture of the soul.
Virasana, hero pose. Every human soul has their own story, their own journey through time, largely forgotten by the self. But there is one being who stays beyond, who understands my entire journey, knows me far better than I know myself. That one can see through all the layers and all the labels, all the scenes and situations, all the ups and downs, can see right through to the diamond, the soul, the hero within. The Supreme Soul can see me. And that vision uplifts me, empowers me to move through life with grace and dignity.
Om Shanti. So now we'll take Drishti from Didi and remember Baba.
से मन का पंखेरु गगन से भी ऊपर कहीं दूर जाए, हमें मिल गया जो हमें चाहिए था, मिलन सिंधु में हम रहे यूं समाए। कहूँ क्या मैं मुख से मिला कौन है वो, कहूँ क्या मैं मुख से मिला कौन है वो, आँखों से सबको बताया करूँ, भ्रिकुटी की कुटिया में बैठे ही बैठे, भ्रिकुटी की कुटिया में बैठे ही बैठे, पलकें उठा के निहारा करूं। बाबा मेरे मन के मंदिर में तुमको, बाबा मेरे मन के मंदिर में तुमको बिठा के मिलन में मनाया करूं, भ्रिकुटी की कुटिया में बैठे ही बैठे।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. everyone.
Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, my dear. Om Shanti.